Day 20 of camp, it went well. Today, I get excited about good practices, but I think it was, hard to say that wasn't maybe the best practice we've had since our staff's come to Ohio State. High energy, especially for practice 20. Really impressed. The energy, the speed. I think they see the light at the end of the tunnel, so it was a very, very good day, practice-wise. Guys staying up, guys going, getting most of our guys back health-wise. So I'll answer some. Braxton is demeanor is doing better than I thought. He's around the players, and I think now that he knows the plan's in place, and the plan in place is to have surgery. I don't know the exact time and location and all that, but I'm sure we'll let you know when we find out.
Back or right, Clay?
Coach, what has the last 24 to 48 hours been like for you and this team? And does this rival maybe the biggest challenge of your coaching career, getting JT ready to go?
I haven't really given it much thought, other than we're worried about one thing that our team's been pretty good at, and I've gotten better at, is just worry about the moment. And the moment is getting a team ready. Quarterback's an important cog, but that's exactly what it is. It's a cog. It's not the team. And the positive is, and we actually shared this with the team last night, is that injuries happen during the course of football. Matter of fact, I've never met a great player that's never, just in all sports, something always happens, and this is a tough one. But they've got, I want to say, I had Tom Herman recite it to our team, and I want to say JT had about 300 competitive throws, not snaps, this fall. Where when Kenny Guyton went into the game a couple of years ago, I think he had 6. So he's had a bunch, and he's a meticulous guy. JT and Cardell's come a long way as well. So our backup quarterback and third quarterback have had 300 competitive throws, not reps, throws during training camp. And it's not against scouts. Competitive means against offense, defense.
Back row middle, Jared.
You mentioned the way that the offense maybe changed a little bit a year ago when Kenny came in, when Braxton was out. Offense changed a little bit in terms of the way you call plays, things that maybe he did better. What are some of those things that maybe JT does a little bit better that may alter the way you would attack offense?
Well, that's still to be determined, and if I knew it, I probably wouldn't tell you anyways, because we're playing the season here pretty soon. But he is I forget who I was talking to earlier today, but some of the best quarterbacks are great distributors. I watch Peyton Manning play, and I'm in awe the way he distributes the ball around. And I thought Kenny Guyton was one of the best I've been around as far as getting the ball out rather quickly and distributing to playmakers, let them run with the ball and let them make plays. And that's what my initial evaluation of JT is very good at that.
Front row, Bill.
You spent a lot of time developing the culture, making sure culture is like, how important is it now in light of the fact that you're Boston quarterback? What was that concern of yours and that? This is a big test.
Huge test, and that's what you prepare for. And once again, it's all to be determined. However, if you had to start saying, do we need passing grades on day after a passing grade, on 2 days after a passing grade, now tomorrow's going to be 3 days after, then mock scrimmage on Saturday, and obviously the real test is a week from Saturday against a very good team. So far they're passing the tests. Oh, it was devastating, and it was a bad deal, because first of all, I didn't see exactly what happened, and I thought someone hit him. I was like, I went berserk, saying, what happened, and so then they looked at me. I said, no one hit him. It was a 7-yard throw.
All right, Austin.
It's been pretty common nationally for people to downgrade your team from a playoff contender to maybe not the best in the Big Ten on the outside. Has anything changed inside the program in the last 40 hours?
I think you know the answer to that. We practice 21 tomorrow, and I still like our team. Really like her. After today's practice, really, really like our team.
Do you consider playing both JT and Cardell?
Sure. Yep.
Tim.
Urban, 2 quick things. Number one, have y'all in the last 48 hours, 24 hours, second-guessed to bring Braxton along the way you did? Do you feel like how do you feel like that all went? Do you feel like the first surgery just good?
Oh, I second guess everything. You know, it's 3rd down and 6. We don't get it. I second guess. You know, why did we run that 3rd down and 6? If they do get it, we're on defense. We second guess that. So when I say second guess, I just ask the questions because I'm not a doctor and I don't know, but I do. I've been around long enough. Things happen, and it's unfortunate. Kyle Berger had an ACL injury and his ACL tore again, same one. You know, so I have great trust in our medical staff and but sure, absolutely. You second guess, yeah. I wouldn't say second guess. Just make sure evaluation that we're doing the best we can.
But you don't feel like you were being pretty careful with him, correct?
Oh, very careful, yeah.
And the other thing you talked about last year about the offense changing a little when Kenny went in. Just do packages change? I mean, what just sort of changes now with JT in there?
Well, anytime you just what's his skill level? You know, Braxton's got a very unique skill set. He's got one of the quickest releases that that I've ever seen. Kenny didn't have that quick release, but Kenny was a full field distribute, if that makes sense. So we're still going through with JT. JT's got a pretty good release. He's got other good skill level. The other kid, Cardell's got just a cannon. So, and then you add the element of how do they elongate or stretch a play when things aren't working. Both of them have the ability to do that too. So that's all. That's why we go sit in that room and look at each other for 10 hours a day. Is figure out what pieces that you have. The good thing is the pieces around him are, I don't want to give him too much credit, but I'm hoping this is you throw some short balls and they turn into long gains. We haven't had much of that around here.
Front row left, Ari.
Coach, in the statement last night, Braxton said that he anticipates coming back in 2015 to lead this team. A, how can somebody be so sure at this point a year from now that they could do that? And could you realistically see the future building around him again in 2015?
I hope. Once again, I don't. How can someone? I mean, that's the normal progress. I guess Drew Brees and the great one from Oklahoma, Sam Bradford, had a similar type. I heard Drew Brees was even worse. And I just sat in the meetings with other doctors. Other quarterbacks have gone through it. And then Sam Bradford, I think, once or twice had the issue. And they all came back and strong, and it took a full year to recover. So that's, I think.
From the standpoint of potentially moving on, not necessarily being
Moving on to the NFL?
or doing, yeah.
I don't know if you just have to get healthy and go. And I'm hearing it's a 9 to 12 month injury. So, once again, we haven't had this discussion at all. I just read the same thing you said, or I saw that, so I'm good and moved on.
Doug.
I'm not sure I'm answering your question. I'm sure what the question was.
It just seems like.
How do you do it? I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Doug.
Urban, just to cover a little ground again, when this happened in February, it was called a minor outpatient procedure on Braxton. Just that we're here now, that we're from minor outpatient to you can't play at all in 2014. Just what?
What do I think of that?
I mean, is that? Did you have it in your head at all when this happened in February?
No, I was I believed that he'd be ready to go in the summer, is what I was, I was kind of, in my heart, believing that he'd be ready to go in summer, and everything seemed to be on course. We're not allowed to watch our kids throw, but my reports were, because every day I'd ask, how do you do today? How do you do today? And he's throwing the ball really well in July. And then this happened. So, to answer your question, did I have any thought that this could happen? No.
Was there any, even as you got into preseason and were easing him back, were there moments when you thought?
No, not that. I thought that we might have to, be very careful as we start this season, and because the volume of throws. But no, of course, you never think something like that.
Far left, Rusty.
Urban, on the thing, when you talk to somebody who takes over a job after an injury like this, sometimes kids overwhelmed, sometimes you don't know, sometimes they're quiet, inside themselves. But I just wondered, have you spoken to JT on how?
Oh yeah, and our players have, and that's all on an individual basis. You're right. Some kids are frothing at it. These kids are very kind of Geitnish. He's a very calm, cool, collect guy. Has very good leadership skills. That's a term we use around here now, Geitnish.
Have you discussed with Braxton what his role will be?
Not yet. Not yet. We did talk about, because we're all, when injury happens, as I've said this before, and this is our team, we've said it probably 12 times since it happened. What's our job? Everybody has jobs to do. And you can speculate, worry, talk about this, read this, do that. No, that's all very good. And it's all, that's what people make a living doing. There's none of that here. We lift him up with prayer and with just lift him up as a friend and a teammate, and then you pick up the rifle and go as hard as you can possibly go. And that's the mentality here. And if there's anything other than that mentality, that's when you have problems.
Back row right, Ron.
Urban, we just answered this. That just happened.
Utah, we had our quarterback, Brett Elliott, broke his wrist on the first game, and then the skinny kid came jogging in. Can't remember his name. It was Alex Smith or something like that, a little skinny guy. He did pretty good. At Florida, we lost a really good player, Cornelius Ingram. And in 08, in preseason, like practice 3, non-contact was running, and guys have stepped up. And a lot of times, if it's a special team, they actually get stronger. No, it's not tough at all. And once again, it depends on who the individuals are. We're all, there's certain guys that have invested an incredible amount in the program. Like Braxton, there's nothing more that you look back and say, I wish he would have tried harder. I wish he would have played harder in this game. Like all of us, it wasn't always perfect. But the 2-time Big Ten Player of the Year, it's it's a difficult part of sport. It breaks your heart. Shattered your heart, but you got to move on. It's not hard to try to get the other guy ready because that's what we have to do.
Last 2 questions. Todd?
Urban, 2 questions. You go through all this summer plan on offense. How much does that change things around?
It's a good question. It hasn't changed at all. We're only day 2 into it, and so we're going to practice. We have 2 days today, real light one this afternoon, and then tomorrow morning we're going to meet as a staff, and I'm giving them off till after lunch. So we'll know more tomorrow, but we're going to game plan for Navy tomorrow morning.
The other question I asked was the Eagles updated some of the position battles offensive line and cornerback. I think this is the last 2 days.
Yep, Darrell Baldwin is starting right tackle, Pat Elflein right guard, center and left guard still to be determined. However, it's a much better to be determined than it was in the spring because we do have bodies. We have guys that are battling. Jacoby and Chad Lindsey battling for the center spot. You can also put Pat Elflein at center. We've done that quite a bit. And then left guard, you have Billy Price has done really good, and so has Joel Hale. Chase Ferris has had his best camp, so he's the benefit. We might throw him in there too. He's had a really good camp. So we do have some good bodies. Cornerback, Duran Grant, and the other side still Eli. We haven't named the starter there. Eli and Gary On, and Omrani have had very good camps. And what's the other one? Running back Zeke, broke his wrist, so he's back. He's full-time. He's full practice now, just can't hit him. And so it's the other 2 kids have had a heck of a camp, and that's Rod and Briante and Curtis. We have 4 guys right now. So that didn't help you, but we still haven't named that starter.
Last question. Far left. Matt?
You talked about the improvement in depth of weapons. Braxton, he did so much right there. Would have been, we talked about more opportunities for those guys on the table to do something early in the season.
Well, I talked to the offensive players about that too. There's 100 yards of offense has to be made up somewhere. That's why Braxton was probably more than that, but just strictly with his skill level, you had 100 yards of offense that we have to find, whether it be rushing, passing, extending plays, and I'd be far. I think I see some excitement that there's 100 more yards out there for someone to have, and there's no. There was a time in 2 years ago where Braxton right, Braxton left was our best way of getting a first down. When Jordan Hall got hurt, Carlos was still 240-some pounds and not what we're looking for. And the offensive line was just maturing. Jeff Harmon hadn't become a target yet. Devin was inconsistent. Philly was Philly, and then Evan wasn't what he is now. So there's been some nice growth over the other positions. So I'm anticipating a much different offense. Certainly you saw 2 years ago, a little bit more evenly spaced out than it was last year.